Good evening to you. My name's Ted Everett. Some of you may know me, some of you may not, but before this evening's out, we'll remedy that situation. Now, those of you who know me will be surprised to see me here, because I'm usually to be down the local hostelry with a small coterie of friends and acquaintances, discussing a matter of general and personal importance. But as you can see, I'm sitting in my living room. And why? Well, I'll tell you. My lady wife Betty and I are in a lockdown situation. It's laid down in the regulations of our parliamentary representatives. Now you may well ask, where is Betty? Well, I'll tell you. She's busying herself in the kitchen now, making me a cup of tea. Now here's something that may help you in your own domestic arrangements during this troubling time. I'll tell you how Betty prepares her cup of tea. First of all, she boils the water. Then she takes the teapot over to the boiling kettle, pours a little bit of water in to warm the pot, swirls it round, throws it out, puts the teapot down. She goes to the tea caddy and she takes 1 spoonful of tea for each person and 1 for the pot. Then she takes the teapot over to the still boiling water, takes it over to the kettle and pours the boiling water onto the leaves. And she puts the lid on the kettle, puts the cosy on it. Now here's the novelty. She leaves it to brew for 45 minutes. Now a few days ago I got a call from a very good friend of mine, Eugene Cheese, who wanted to discuss the arrangements of his sock drawer with me, and I was talking to him about it. I was giving him my advice, and when we got onto the Argyles I just stopped him and I said, Eugene, excuse me for interrupting you, but have you got something to impart to me? And I'll never forget what he said then. He said, Ted, you're a mind reader. I said, well, Eugene, what is it? Well, he said, do you know this COVID virus thing that's going around, that's causing all the pandemic and all the trouble? A few of us were wondering, are you going to be taking a back seat? I said, well, no. No, Eugene, I certainly am not going to be taking a back seat, and I'll give you an example. The day before, I got another call in the morning. Betty was in the kitchen preparing some tea, and I got a call from my old friend Theo Clark. I said, hello Theo, how are you? It's nice to hear from you. And he said, well, yes, thank you. And we were talking about this and that, and I could see he was upset about something. And I said, Theo, are you all right? Have you got something on your mind? That's why you phoned me. And he said, well, yes, I have, Ted, actually. I'm very worried about the situation regarding the virus. I said, oh dear, really? He said, yes. I'm worried about the NHS, I'm worried about the nurses, I'm worried about the old people, I'm worried about the young people. I'm especially worried about my Aunt Gillian. Now, as you know, she's not been well for the last few years. And then I sensed a tremor in his voice. I think he was going to break down. So I said, just stop there, Theo. Get yourself round here. Get yourself round here, we'll have a face-to-face. He says, but Ted, aren't you in a lockdown situation with your lady wife Betty? And I said, well, I am, but you can stand quite clearly in the lawn, and I'll stand in the dining room window and we can have a chat then. I can impart to you something I think that's going to solve your problems. Well, I tell you, the relief in his voice, you could hear it. 10 minutes later, you've got it, there he was, there was Theo on the lawn. I was in the dining room window. The minute I saw him, I thought, oh, there's some work to be done here. It's no wonder that he's feeling a bit under the weather, a bit worried and anxious about what's going on. You see? Well, before I even said anything, it all came out. It all came out about his Auntie Gillian, how she had a cough and this and that, and he was worried. I said, just stop there. Theo, do something for me. And he said, what? Yes, certainly, Ted. What will I do? And he said, well, I said. Have a good look at yourself. Go on. Follow my instructions now. Have a good look at yourself from your feet right up there and tell me something. And he did. I'll give him that. All strength to him. All strength to him. He had a good look at himself. I said to him, what are you wearing? And he said, I've got trainers on. He said, jeans and an anorak. I said, right. What have you got to tell me, Theo? Well, he just looked at me. And very clearly he said to me, Ted, I've made no effort. I said, well, no, you haven't. You haven't, Theo. You haven't made any effort, and that's why you're worried and anxious about things. Now, will you follow my instructions? And he says, yes, I will, Ted. I said, right. Go back home now this very instant. Go up to your dressing room. Go to your cardigan drawer. Take out that green cardigan that your Aunt Gillian gave you 2 Christmases ago. Lay it on the bed. Then go to your shirt rack. Now go to that Clydella shirt that your dad died in a year ago. Put that on the bed too. Then go to your slack drawer, and I suggest a needle cord. The beige one with the turn-ups. Now if you're feeling a little adventurous, well, you can go for the cavalry twill. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And obviously you're going to think of your shoes. Well, not much to think about there, is there? You choose a brogue. It's a workaday shoe, Theo, so you're right through the working day and well into the evening's entertainment. Now, when you've done that, look in the mirror. Will you do that for me? Well, he said, yes, I will do. Oh, well. He turned, and then he turned back. And he said something that I'll never forget. He said, Ted, you've done it again. And he turned and walked away. And as he was walking away, Betty came in with a cup of tea. And she took one look through the window at Theo walking down, and she said, Ted, what about his hair care? And I said, don't you worry about that, Betty. Don't you worry about his hair care. When he follows my instructions, goes up to his room, gets dressed like that, takes special attention to his dress care, you look in the mirror afterwards and I know he'll see his hair care needs attention. And if I know Theo, he'll be at his Brill cream drawer in no time at all, take out a fresh tub of Brill cream, get half the Brill cream, put it on his head so it's thick and slick against the skull. And his problems will be a thing of the past. And he won't worry so much about everything. Well, I haven't heard from Theo since. So it's obvious that my words didn't fall, as they say, on stony ground. Now in closing, I'll have to say many of my chums are very worried and concerned about the very real possibility of hostilities breaking out between the great powers when this pandemic is over. In fact, 1 or 2 of them have mentioned their deep concerns about a nuclear war. Now I want them to know, all my chums out there, all my friends and acquaintances, I will not be taking a back seat. No, and my next talk will be entitled Proper Dress Care During a Nuclear Winter. Now there's going to be a strong likelihood of falling debris. So we're going to be talking about hats, especially the wide brim trilby. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Keep safe and keep in. Thank you.